Hey guys, I have another random battle here today, and this is with Baron Baconeer, a constant viewer. So yeah, it's always fun to do some random shenanigans. So let's get in on this. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a random battle, so all of our teams are being randomly, well, more like semi-randomly generated from Pokemon Showdown. He gets a Keldeo lead, I get a Sunflora. I decided to go for the super effective Giga Drain while he goes out into his Butterfree, which obviously is going to resist and all of that stuff. So I don't really want to take a Bug Buzz, but I decide to, what do? I don't even know. I probably should have switched. No, I go for the Hidden Power. That's right, I have a super effective Hidden Power. Too bad it still doesn't do that much, and he gets a free Quiver Dance off, which I probably should have expected, because that's pretty much Butterfree's best, well, thing. Regardless, so he's going to Quiver Dance again as I go into Vaporeon, and I am just incredibly afraid of this thing, so I'm just going to Roar just to get rid, phase it out, so I can get rid of those Quiver Dances, and he is going to go for the Giga Drain, which he has, and does a lot to Vaporeon, but thanks to Vaporeon's overall bulk, it does not end up killing me. Regardless, I do go out into my Rotom Frost here against the Suicune, and I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch because, one, I don't actually have Thunderbolt with Thunder, and two, so it's my only electric attack, and two, because I kind of figured he was going to switch. He goes out into this Bacon thing, this Emboar, and I'm just going to protect to see what he does. He goes for the Superpower, and yeah, that gives me some free leftovers recovery. And I don't really know what kind of Emboar this is going to be, although I do stay in and just die to the Head Smash. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to go out into Clay Doll now and guess scare him away with, a ground move as he goes out into Butterfree, and I'm just going to go for the Toxic because I kind of expected the switch, to be honest, and, well, obviously not the switch into Butterfree, but regardless, it is Poison, so that's going to limit any sweeping potential he has with Quiver Dance, which he does go for. Meanwhile, I go for an Ice Beam, and that's going to do some damage to Butterfree, and I'm hoping it'll be a 2-hit KO after the Toxic Poison, but it doesn't seem to be that way after that second Ice Beam, and he does not quite kill with Bug Buzz, which is obviously not very good for him, although, as I said, the Butterfree does survive and is going to finish me off, although he isn't going to survive another Toxic hit, so we both go down there, and that's kind of, I wouldn't call that a fair trade, but it's whatever. Anyway, so I go into Rotom Frost here, he goes out into Keldeo, I just go for the Volt Switch, and he stays in this time with Keldeo, so that will do some damage, and as he goes for the Sacred Sword, which does some damage to my Sunflora. Anyway, he doesn't want to take, obviously, a Giga Drain, so I just go for it, and he switches out into his Aurorus, and does some decent damage. Obviously, he's super effective, but I do not want to take an Ice move, so I go back out into my Rotom Frost as he goes for a Nature-powered Tri-Attack. And you might be wondering why Rotom resists Tri-Attack. That's because Aurorus has an ability that makes those normal moves into Ice moves. So, obviously, my Ice-type Rotom will resist Ice-type moves, and that's pretty cool. Although he does also have a Rock-type move, which, yeah, does do some damage due to being super effective. So now I go into Hitmonchan, because I do not want to take another Ancient Power on my Rotom. So, yeah, obviously that's going to scare him away, being that Aurorus is X4 weak to fighting, as I just go for a sub because I predicted the switch, although he goes into his last Mon, Moltres, which is pretty much a direct counter to my Hitmonchan. So, yeah, I just go for the Drain Punch because I have the sub, I might as well just do something with that turn. And I figure, hey, a Drain Punch will at least get me some health back and, obviously do a little bit of damage to Moltres. Anyway, so I go into Smeargle here, and he does not take a Hurricane, so that's pretty fail-tacular on my part. I lose Smeargle for literally nothing. Oh well, so now I go into my Rotom Frost, and I was kind of expecting him to switch, and he does, but I just go for the Volt Switch because, as I said, it's the only thing that can... It's my only electric attack, which I don't know if he knows that yet, but, yeah, it's kind of bad for me. Obviously, sometimes you get screwed from those random movesets, but regardless, I do not want to stay in Sunflora, because obviously I do not want to take that Tri-Attack. And, yeah, he is going to do some damage with it, and even on my Hitmonchan, but he's still going to switch because obviously he does not want to take a fighting move on the Aurorus. I just go for a Drain Punch and end up hitting the incoming Moltres. And here, I don't think I really want to switch because I know Hurricane's going to, like, wreck any of my other Pokemon, and to be honest, Hitmonchan kind of is the most expendable at this point. I'm not really in a good position. None of my Pokemon can really do much damage to Moltres except for my Rotom with Volt Switch, but obviously that won't be a kill, and I really cannot take a Hurricane on him But regardless, I just go for a sub. I don't know really why he's not finishing me off with the Hurricane. I know he did miss one, which sucks for him, but instead he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and I don't really understand why, because Hurricane would probably 1-hit KO me at this point. But he also has Substitute, so he's going to try to set it up there. And I'm just going to go for some bulk ups to negate the burn, basically. I don't even know, but I think both of us are playing kind of badly here. He ends up going for a Will-O-Wisp, as you can see, and that's a misclick. He does say so in the chat. Obviously, he had no reason to go for a Will-O-Wisp when I'm already burned and have a sub up. Regardless, even at normal attack, I'm not able to break that sub, which I should have known that, and yeah. I'm just going to take the 2-hit KO on the sub, however, and then try to set up another bulk up to maybe be able to kill his subs. Although he decides to come to his senses and just go for the Hurricane now, which is going to hit my sub and take it out, and he is faster than me, so unless I get another Hurricane miss, I'm not going to get another attack off, so we'll see what happens here. If I can get one more attack or another sub. Nope, he definitely just goes for the Hurricane again, and hits this time, so that will take out Hitmonchan. And now the only thing I can really do is go out into my Rotom Frost, and I do have Pain Split on this guy, which is actually pretty awesome, because it's going to get Rotom Frost some much-needed HP back, and obviously hurt the Moltres a little. So yeah, he's going to Will-O-Wisp me now. It doesn't hurt me that badly. I don't have any physical moves, obviously, on this, but it does hurt me in a sense that, well, it's going to do residual damage, which is never good. But I just go for a Volt Switch because it's like I said, the only attack that can really hurt Moltres. I mean, I guess I could go for the Blizzard, but I don't know. I don't think that would have been a much better play, although all I end up doing is sacrificing now my my Sunflora, so that's not particularly good either. Although now that my Rotom Frost is my last Pokemon, I can pretty much spam Volt Switch without switching, which is kind of good because obviously the only way I'm going to be able to kill some of these Mons. Regardless, I do cake out the Aurorus, although he has 3 Pokemon left, and even though all of them are weak to Electric, without, you know, a super powerful attack, I'm not going to be able to do much damage, and the Keldeo can outspeed me. I don't really know why he goes into Suicune here. He could have just killed me with Keldeo if he went into it, but yeah, he does go into Suicune, which is great for me because I can just go ahead and use the Pain Split to get HP back, and he's just going to hit me with some Scalds, and that's going to pretty much take me back down to where I was before after all the burn damage. So, yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, he now comes to his senses and goes into Keldeo, which is going to outspeed and kill me with Sacred Sword. But anyway, that is a good game, Baron Baconeer. A lot of fun, like random matches usually are, and yeah, just a good match overall. And yeah, let me think of some questions of the day. Today's question of the day is, what is your favorite legendary Pokemon? There's a lot of new additions in X and Y, obviously, in that category. It seems like every generation there are just more and more and more legendary Pokemon that come out in each generation. As for me, it's still the classic Mew. Nothing was even close to the legend that was Mew in Generation 1, and for that reason, I consider it the best and only real legend Pokemon. But obviously, some of you guys probably have different opinion. Leave a comment in the chat, well, in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Later.